Guys, welcome to today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed some of those clips from my pull workout this morning. I planned on showing you everything from it, but I got kind of sidetracked. We were just in the middle of a really good workout, so we didn't film everything. So that was a few clips from that. Today my plan is I'm just going to take you through my day, meaning that I am on prep now. So not a whole lot has changed, but yes, there still are some things that are different now. So as those things come up, I hope to kind of just explain them a little bit. I'll show you some stuff of what I eat here and there. I already ate two just buttered rice cakes, or like the butter flavor rice cakes, which is 35 calories a piece. Before my training session, during my session, I had a little bit of the sour gummies, and then after I had a big bowl of protein oatmeal, which I've already eaten so far. I will put the macros up on the screen for those, but right now I'm in a little bit of a hurry, just I'm trying to get to my first class of the day, and that is my yoga class. Yeah, kind of funny, but I actually like the class. It helps me kind of relax a little bit. And plus with how much working out and stuff I do, it helps me kind of just loosen up a little bit, which is good. So then today, nothing really significant is planned, just kind of the same old school client work, same old. But really I'm just going to take you through everything that I kind of go about that's a little bit different than it would be when I was in my bulk. Also another big change that I'm doing today, actually I won't say it now, I'll just bring it as it comes up. So I'll see you guys then. So next clip, I'll see you guys. See you then. All right, so I just re-upped on some groceries real quick, and then what I got to snack on is just one of those Cliff protein bars. Here, I'll hold it up better. A Cliff bar, protein bar. Had one of these before, I think it was pretty good. But these ones are actually, I think they're plant-based, gluten-free, plant-based. They're like a little bit different looking, but either way, I don't really care about that. Macros on one of them, 290 calories, 11 fat, 29 carb, and then 20 protein. So a little bit higher. But right now with what the macros I'm currently on, I can easily fit that in. So no big deal. So hopefully it tastes good. I'll try it out and I'll let you guys know how it tastes. But yeah. So it actually tastes really good. It's the cinnamon nut swirl flavor, but pretty good. It's actually pretty big too for a protein bar. So not bad. Not my favorite, but pretty good. Okay, so it is about 3 p.m. right now in the afternoon. I've eaten lunch, I've got all my schoolwork done, and had a client call that I was supposed to be doing like an hour ago, but the client rescheduled for later tonight. So what that means is I'm going to take a little bit of time to just knock out my cardio. I want to talk about this after, more so my cardio, but I upped my cardio up to 3 times per week now, about 30 minutes 3 times per week. I'm just going to keep it at that, setting that, like committing to that for like the next few weeks now, like not changing that at all. But yeah, I'll explain more of that later. And basically, what I thought was a calorie deficit wasn't like, because I was eating so much food, I was just kind of like, the past week I've just been kind of cleaning up my diet essentially. Like I haven't really been in a exact calorie deficit, but more so just like cleaning up the food, eating less volume of food. I've been able to lose some weight. So right now, I had to shift my calories again, dropping down to about 3,100, which is still quite a bit, but now I'm actually in a deficit. So the cleanup is kind of done now. So now we can actually kind of get to like the nitty gritty stuff like that. But I'm gonna knock this cardio out. I'll talk to you guys after. All right, guys, so about 20 minutes ago, I just wrapped up my second cardio session of this prep. And what I did for that was 25 minutes incline walking. So I did 3.5 miles per hour at a 15 incline. Not gonna lie, started prep. It fucking sucks starting cardio again, like actually taking it seriously. I did do cardio once a week throughout my entire bulk, but now that I'm doing it more regularly, kind of picking up the intensity a little bit, it sucks quite a bit. But as prep goes on, I drop some fat here and there. It slowly gets easier and easier as I go on, so I'm not worried about that. So in this part of the video, and the main point of the video, I really want to just talk about the difference between high intensity and low intensity cardio. Which is better, which should you do? And I kind of touched on it previously in a few other videos. But today I'm going to kind of talk to you about what I personally recommend and what I think is the most optimal. So let's just talk about both of them. Low intensity, LISS, L-I-S-S, low intensity steady state cardio. That is when you keep a low to moderate heart rate at a steady state throughout the entire duration of the cardio. The benefit to this, you can burn a lot of calories doing it. It's not too taxing to your central nervous system. It doesn't deplete you and drain you for your training sessions. Those are all bonuses to it. Another bonus to it is it can be like mind clearing. Like I like to watch YouTube videos, or I'll watch some Netflix or something when I do low intensity. So it's kind of just like a little relaxer in a way. Yes, your heart rate gets raised a little bit, but at the same time, it just feels like it's mind clearing, which is a cool thing about it. Some cons to low intensity. Really, the biggest thing I can think of, one of the only things, is just it takes more time. Where if you're gonna make something a priority, I think you can easily factor out 30 to, or like 20 to 60 minutes out of your day to do it, because it all depends on how long you're doing it for. Right now I'm only doing 25 minutes, and as my prep increases, I'll gradually increase the duration of it and the amount of times I'm doing cardio as well. So it's low intensity. So now high intensity or HIIT cardio, HIIT, high intensity cardio. Some pros to that is great for your heart health, obviously. It can burn some calories, not nearly as many as LISS, which I'll kind of explain to that later. If you can't already tell, I'm kind of already one-sided towards this whole thing, but either way, I'll still explain both sides. Another good thing for it is it can potentially aid muscle growth in a way for like your lower body, I guess you can say. Some people will say that, but really, other than the only thing I can think of that is a benefit from HIIT cardio is if you're an athlete of some kind, and you need the endurance. Say you're a football player, you need to be quick, fast on your feet. So that would be very beneficial for you to do. But for just getting in better shape, for what I'm doing, prepping for a bodybuilding show, or even just the average person looking to lose some weight or gain muscle, HIIT cardio is pretty overrated. And anybody who tells you you need that clearly doesn't know what they're saying. One of the other positives to HIIT cardio, it's fast. It only takes like 15 to 20 minutes tops. But yeah, and some cons, you don't burn very many calories. It's very taxing on your nervous system. It can impact your training. And yeah, that's really it for the cons I can think of off the top of my head. So which do I prefer? I personally prefer low intensity, steady state cardio. Number one, I get more bang for my buck because I burn more calories in the long run. If you look at, I don't have a graph with me right now, but if you look at a low intensity heart rate, so say my heart rate's gradually just kind of going across right here, and I'm burning a steady amount of calories the entire time. Say the bottom part here is time. As time goes on, I'm continually just burning calories at a nice relaxing kind of pace. Where high intensity, instead of starting here on like low intensity, high intensity might start here, they go up here, and then all the way back down here. Up here, all the way back down here. All the way up here, all the way back down here. And that only happens for about 15 to 20 minutes. Where the low intensity goes like for anywhere from 20 to 60 minutes, I guess you'd say. And people think they're burning way more calories than they actually are. Even more so, people think they're working harder than they actually are, which none of those are the truth. In about 20 minutes of HIIT cardio, if you're giving maximum effort, I would say for the average person, like absolutely kicking their ass, maybe anywhere from 100 to 200 calories in like that 15 to 20 minutes. Maybe more, maybe not, but either way, that's not a whole lot of calories. And the risk reward, you look at the trade-offs, you potentially burn a little bit of calories faster, not a whole lot of calories, but then you look at what it costs. Like there's a big kind of risk with everything you're doing there. If you're just trying to get in better shape, you don't want to demolish yourself. You just want to be able to be consistent with things, get in, get out on a daily basis, because consistency is huge. So if you're doing intensity right, you're going all the way out, like literally all out as hard as you can. That's the other thing I want to bring up. With high intensity cardio, people call it HIIT cardio. It should literally be called MIT cardio, moderate intensity cardio. Because when I say all out, picture yourself if you can remember back to when you last played a sport. When you're running with that ball, trying to run for the end zone, you're going all out. You're not going to go half speed and let the defender try and track you down. You're going to go all out, and you don't care how tired you get because you're going to go all out no matter what the cost is. But when you're doing cardio on the side, 99% of people are not going to be in that mentality going all out. They're not going to think there's someone chasing them down. They're like, oh, I'll do what I do. So if they call it HIIT cardio, but instead of going all the way up here, they're just coming up to here and then back down. Up here and back down. Where with the low intensity, you're just kind of at a steady state the entire time. They're barely cracking moderate intensity, and when they're not even at moderate intensity, you're only at high or moderate intensity for literally 10 seconds at the most. High intensity, you can only sustain that for so long before your ATP runs out, and you need to replenish that. So you can only be there for so long, so therefore you can only burn so many calories. In about 10 seconds, maybe you burn about 1 calorie. So you prolong that. And when you come all the way down, what are you going to do then? You're going to jog, you're going to walk, where supposedly you're not supposed to just be doing nothing. Most people, after they go all out, they sit down and they stop. And then they go all out again, they sit down. They're not burning anything when they stop. They're missing the point of the cardio. They're letting their heart rate completely crash down, fully recover, then they're going all out again. Where the intention of cardio is to keep your heart rate risen throughout the entire time. So that's another reason why, like, back to low intensity, your heart rate is always going to be going. It's never going to be really back and forth. It's going to be consistent. And I mentioned the word consistent a lot because consistency is such a huge part in everything that we do. Even if you're an athlete and you do need the HIIT, high intensity cardio, you still need to be consistent with that. You need to be consistent with how you're performing it, when you're doing it, and everything like that. Just the average person is not disciplined enough to stay consistent. The average person is a baby. So it gets tiring, they stop. And HIIT cardio is supposed to be all out, like super, super tiring. There's a reason why I don't do it right now. Number one, it's just not optimal for what I'm trying to do. Number two, I don't need to do it. And number three, number two, I just don't need to do it. I'm not an athlete. I'm not doing anything right now that requires me to have any high intensity movements other than my weight training. And that's really quickly to mention, a high intensity movement, going all out on your lifts during a weight training session. That your heart rate is rising to a maximum level for, say, a top set of something. Like that right there is considered, in terms of your heart rate, could be high intensity. So low intensity is definitely the way to go. It's a lot easier to monitor low intensity too. Like, for example, if you're tracking calories, and lots of people like to track calories in like their Fitbit or whatever, or they'll watch the calories in the treadmill. It's just a lot easier to stay consistent with that, especially if you're doing like a cardio session where you're outdoors, like a HIIT cardio session where you're running back and forth, you're sprinting, you're doing all this stuff, and you're outdoors. It's kind of hard to track because it's going to be so inconsistent, and it's not like you have a treadmill or anything to monitor at all. So it's not very consistent. I would never recommend it to any of my clients. And everyone asks me like, oh, should I be doing HIIT cardio? And they think that's better because, I don't know, whatever, they're just misinformed, so they think that's better. And I have to kind of not lecture them, but explain to them why they're wrong in that sense, just because they're going to be missing out on a whole lot. And the most common thing that gets brought up when I tell people HIIT cardio is not you shouldn't be doing HIIT cardio. The most common thing I hear is, well, what about the afterburn? That's really good, isn't it? Not really. The afterburn, people think that they're going to be burning all of these calories throughout the rest of the day because they rose their heart rate up and taxed their body so much for 15 minutes. Well, it's not the truth. Yes, your heart rate, you will have some sort of an afterburn. Scientifically proven you have some sort of an afterburn. But the downside of that, the afterburn is only like 20 to 50 calories at most throughout the entire day. Now, if you don't know what 20 to 50 calories, that's literally a bite. It could be a bite of some foods. Like, that's not much. So if you don't want to so I would say don't do the HIIT cardio. Take a bite less of food and just stick with your low intensity. Like 20 to 50 calories, that's not a lot whatsoever. So to be doing HIIT cardio just for a tiny little bite of food, I don't think that's worth it. So yeah, I mean, that's the whole kind of thing with HIIT and LISS cardio. LISS cardio is by far the way better option to go. Yes, it's going to be more time consuming, but if you want something bad enough, designate an extra 30 minutes of your day to just walk. I personally recommend doing the stair stepper or a treadmill. Stay away from the bikes because then you're just going to sit back, relax, read a book, just kind of move your legs casually. You're not going to be doing shit. You're not going to be burning anything. Same thing, obviously, the bikes. Ellipticals, you can get a good workout out of it, but again, it's something that the speed doesn't really control you, so it's kind of hard to be consistent with an elliptical. Can be really good if you truly are disciplined to going all out. But stair stepper by far, and a treadmill. And when you're doing that, don't rely on the handles to hold yourself up, because all the handles are going to do is lower your heart rate. The point of giving your effort during cardio is to keep that heart rate risen. The more your heart rate is up, the more calories you're going to be burning, the more effort you're going to be putting out, the more effective it's going to be. But when we cheat by holding onto the handles or putting our whole body weight on the treadmill or stair stepper or whatever it may be, we're just taking away that effort. Instead of doing 300 calories in 40 minutes, by cheating like that, we may be doing like 200 calories or not even. Like, it's just taking half that away. So just do it right. If you can't walk in a stair stepper or a treadmill without holding on to everything, just drop the speed. It's that simple. as long as you're controlled. It's just the same thing with lifting weights. You have to be controlled with what you're doing, because if you're not controlled, you're not going to be getting the benefit from whatever you may be doing. So yeah, so that was my whole little spiel on cardio. Please, again, like let me know if you ever have any questions on this. I'd love to help you guys out. Hit me up for online training, coaching, whatever it may be. I'll help you out there as well. But otherwise, I'm going to end the video right here. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.